guys held 4 Pro Bowl running backs to under 100 yards combined. And
Yeah.
the guy comes in and runs for over 100. Was it just one off night, or did they expose something? What do you think happened?
First of all, you have to give credit to the Giants. You know, they had a good game plan. They executed better than we did. For me as a defensive coordinator, I had to accept responsibility for our shortcomings. But when you went back and looked at the tape, there was really 4 plays in terms of the run game, 2 plays in terms of the pass game where we didn't execute. On 4 runs, they had 98 yards. We had free hitter on every play that just standing right there to make the play, and we just didn't make it. And, you know, now it's 50 yards and there's no issues. But we just didn't get it done that night. We were just a little off. So we got to put it behind us, correct the mistakes, and get ready to play Chargers.
Was there any thought of putting like an Aqib Talib on Evan Ingram, and how does that game change maybe how you play Hunter Henry this week?
Yeah, really it's week to week. In the NFL, it's all about matchups, about your scheme versus their scheme, your player's execution against their player's execution. Ingram, from throw to catch, he caught the ball at 2 yards, 2 yards, 3 yards, 7 yards, and 11 yards. The way we try to affect a good player is you have a scheme in man where you can handle them in terms of a double team. You try to pass them in zones. And the third thing is try to go hit the quarterback so he can't get the ball off. We had all 3 of those. The execution was off. Same plays we ran in practice, a little bit different formation. We were adjusting all throughout the game to make it right, but we just didn't execute.
Takeaways haven't been there like you'd like, and still haven't forced a fumble this year.
Yeah.
Is that something you work on, or is it something that just it's frustrating, but you know it'll come because of the way you guys play defense?
In terms of the fumbles, we had a turnover circuit yesterday in practice. I made a cut-up tape of this guy's creating takeaways, just different teams throughout the NFL. But in terms of the turnovers, you know, the thing for us is we're doing a lot of things to try to create, you know, matchups for Vaughn and other guys on defense. A lot of different pressure packages, things we're doing with our stunts, how we're moving guys around. And the way that teams are playing us, they're getting rid of the ball. And we watch all our third downs. We got guys coming free. The quarterback's taking one hitch and throwing the ball. So we're creating a lot of incompletions, and we don't have a lot of opportunities to make plays on the ball. So that's the negative part. The positive, that's if you look at third downs, we're second in the league in third downs. If you have fourth downs, we're first in the league. So we're getting off the field and we're doing what we need to do. They're just not giving us a lot of opportunities to get turnovers in terms of interceptions.
Does this week then offer a chance, because Phil tends to kind of hold the ball a little longer and will throw into some tight windows?
He ain't hold it that much the first game against us. You know what I mean? It depends on the look. He's a very smart quarterback. He understands what he's looking at. From an offensive standpoint, what we're giving him defensively. He can fix protections, so it's hard to fool the guy. So we have to have a good plan in terms of our coverage to try to make him hold the ball, and we have to have a good plan in terms of our pressure package if he does want to hold it to get after him.
How has Shane Ray looked in the past couple days since he's been back?
I tell you what, he's eager, man. And really with Shane, it's just about just, hey, take your time. You know, he came back the first practice, and he was huffing and puffing over there in drills. I was like, hey, man, don't try to get it all back in one day. He said, just ease yourself back into it, get back into football conditioning. But in terms of his hand, his wrist, he's fine. He's using it. He has the ability to use his fingers. It's just really getting him back into football shape.
The fact that he said he lost about 10 pounds because he couldn't do upper body work because of the injury, does that change how you use him, because he says he's got to do more speed stuff because he was able to do lower body conditioning but not upper body stuff, or will you use him the same way that you planned on?
I think that's just going to be a process that he's going to have to go through, you know, the rest of the season to get his weight back up where it was, you know, during training camp. For us, it's not going to change in terms of how we're going to use him. You know, he plays with a high motor. He's a very good pass rusher. He's physical. So we'll put him in there. He may struggle a little bit as he's gaining his strength and size back, but it won't change anything we do game plan-wise.
Setting the tone. You guys have been so good defensively at setting the tone for the whole game.
Yeah.
Got away from you a little bit the other night. How disappointing was that? And how much of an emphasis is it that you guys really want to come out, set the tone early for the entire game?
That was a major point of emphasis for us defensively after last season. We struggled to start the games and start the halves. So through 5 games, you know, we had 5 in the first half, 5 in the second. So we've been 9 wins, 10 lost. Our first loss came to the Giants let them drive down the field and get 3 points. We had our opportunities to get off the field, and again, just the execution wasn't there. I felt like I was off on a few calls. I know I'm not going to be perfect, but between execution and having the right play calls, we'll get that fixed.
Joe, did it matter that they had somebody calling plays maybe you didn't expect to be calling plays?
Not at all, because offensively, from a scheme standpoint, it's going to stay the same. You know, there may be some little wrinkles in terms of formations, or a game plan run, or a game plan pass, but in terms of their bread and butter plays, it was going to be the same things.
Did you notice any tendencies that they were different on as the game was going on?
They had a little bit of change up in some of their down and distance breaks, and that's why I was adjusting the whole game. So I was kind of figuring out what they were doing, then I would change a call based on the down and distance. But it changed throughout the game, so we changed. It was always that one play though that we didn't execute on before we made the changes.
When did you sort of see it was they had changed the play calling? In the game, like quick?
Pretty early in the game. We had some calls to take care of some things. They kind of changed where they had guys lined up and what they were doing. So we adjusted, and I was on the sideline. Hey, guys, I'm changing to this. We're gonna roll with this until they figure it out. And then when they figured it out, say, hey, I'm changing. I'm going to this until they figure it out. So it was that kind of mindset, that kind of game planning on the sideline, really the whole game.
Big picture, you mentioned the third downs. You guys are first in total defense. You've got only 4 touchdowns in 3 games. How pleased are you with where this defense is at after 5 games?
I'm pleased with the progress that we've made, but I'm really not a stats guy because it really comes down to wins and losses. It's a bottom line business. Do you win on Sunday? Do you lose on Sunday? It's a great feeling to be number one in some categories, being highly ranked in some categories. But at the end of the day, I'm more concerned about winning than I am stats.
Okay, thank you, Coach.
Thanks.
That's good. You guys worked me out today, man.